Hello folks, it's Dave here, and for today's review I want to talk to you about this bad girl, Generation Select's Antagony, and she is just a really cool Voyager class figure, a repaint of the Beast Wars Inferno, and yeah, she looks awesome. So I'm going to talk to you about the way she looks first of all, and then we'll move on to the articulation and the accessories before transforming her and talking about the alt mode too. So here she is. She just looks great. She's mostly black, but with that, she's got so much different, diverse textures on her that make it really interesting, particularly when you've got her in hand because of the way the light reflects off her. She looks really good. So if you've got some bits on her that are a smooth texture, some rough textures on parts, some spikes, bumps, these sort of stepped indented bits on her thighs, some more spikes on here, just so much texture detail just covered in it really, and really lovely all the way round. And with being mostly black, she does have some little highlights of colour here and there. Obviously the head sculpt is done in a purple, which looks really nice. She's got some black spikes around it. She's got the red eyes, some little silver details on the side, and these serrated silver teeth that look really menacing and awesome. She has the ant eyes on the side here, this sort of pearly purple. But again, when you actually see that in hand reflecting the light off, that looks really cool. And she's got some deep grey patches on the shoulders and the crotch that add some contrast. And you can see behind the legs there's this piece behind her that has some silver and some yellow highlights and lots of moulded in detail. We'll open that up and have a look at that later on. And yeah, she's got this nice purple stripe all the way down her back, loads and loads of rough textures again on there, and just, I think, just looks really good all round. Yes, she has some insect leg kibble hanging off of her, and normally I'm not necessarily a fan of just having kibble hanging off of things, but it feels quite natural on a beast transformer, quite organic, and I don't mind it at all. And yeah, I just think she looks really good. In terms of any negatives from the look, the only thing really I would say is there are some gaps around the chest piece in the top and on the sides here, which are necessitated really by the way the transformation works, but they're not hugely noticeable. And when you've got her on display or messing around with her, she just looks really phenomenal overall. Now in terms of her articulation, if we start up at the head, she does go side to side as you would expect. She goes backwards a little bit, side to side a little bit, not really down, but she does also have an opening jaw, so she can be extra menacing, which is really cool. I do love that head on her, it looks great. She does also come in the box with a secondary head, which is this scavenger head, and that is also quite a nice head, I think. But of the two, my preference is for the one that she has out of the box, with the big gaping jaw and the menacing teeth. Okay, now moving on with the articulation then, she has on the arm, she'll go all the way around. She'll go up to the side. She's got a bicep swivel, a double knee bend, so she'll go all the way up on there, which is excellent. And she has a wrist swivel. And if you're worried about these kibbly bits getting in the way, they can, but also they have their own independent articulation points, which mean that you can easily move them all to get them out of the way, which is great. So you can actually pretty much get any pose you would want with her in that regard. And then she does have a waist swivel. This back piece will also move up out of the way, so you can get a nice range on there. the feet will go, the legs will go right up in front, all the way behind, all the way up to the side. Thigh swivel I mean, not bicep, thigh swivel now, all the way around pretty much. Yeah, double knee, so again, super deep knee bends. And the feet, we've got loads and loads of ankle pivot. The heel will bend in like that. That goes right in. That's part of the transformation really, but you can use it. And the feet will go down. Again, you can use that to get her into some poses, even though it's meant for the transformation. And then this bit on the back, as I said, it will go up and down. It will turn around, and it also opens up and splays out. And you can turn this bit inside around and really orient it the way you want it and have it splayed open like that. And there you can see all the different textures, and that silver and yellow in there, which looks really awesome. So you can have her with that closed or open for posing her, however you want to have that really. Just gives you lots of options. And I'll bring in the accessory to have a look at now, because you can plug the accessory into that hole in the back as an option. Let's show you the accessory first, which is this really nice, interesting gun. Not your average Transformers accessory really, something a bit different. Has this nice clear purple plastic and the silver paint and some nice textured detailing in there as well, and this sort of, I want to say, flower pattern on the front. That looks really interesting, really fun weapon. Of course you can pop it in the hand and she looks cool holding it, or as I say, you can stick it in there and she can fire out of her rear end. Yeah, so that's a cool thing. So let's just stick that back. And yeah, as I say, she's really, really cool. So that's that mode. I'm going to go and get her transformed off camera for you now, guys, to save a bit of time. And I'll come back and show you in the lovely ant mode in a minute. Okay, folks, I'm back. And here we have Antagony in her glorious ant mode. And I'm not sure if I can convey here how sizable this looks when you actually get it in hand. This is a nice chunky looking alt mode for her. Just really, really, really nice. And again, in this mode you get to see all that nice painted purple detail down the back, with the light reflecting off there, with all the different textures. You get the light bouncing off the purple eyes. She's got these lovely purple mandibles at the front. The legs there. Looks nice and tidy for the most part. You can, if you look underneath, see that the feet and legs are just under the back end here. But it doesn't look that bad at all. And yeah, as Beast Transformers go, this is probably up there as one of the cleanest alt modes we've seen for a Beast Transformer. There is a tendency to have some of the robot bits sticking out here and there, but this actually looks really nice all the way round. The colours and the textures just looking great. She has just real presence, and what's great is you actually have some articulation to talk about in the alt mode too. And so these bits will move backwards and forwards. She's got the mandibles that do open and close, so she can chew up some Maximals or Autobots. And then the legs, these ones go in and out. These ones sort of go backwards and forwards. And these ones have two joints, one up here and one behind it. So you can sort of move them, get them up and down. So you can actually get her into some different walking poses. You can have her up on her hind legs with her front legs sticking up in front. And yeah, it's just nice to get a bit of articulation and a bit of posing when you've got a transformer in the op mode, rather than having a car that you can just do backwards and forwards on the wheels. So that's really cool. And you can, if you want, pop the gun up on top of her and have her skitter off into battle like that as well. So that's Generation Select's Antagony. Guys, if you don't have this, I would 100% recommend this. This is one of the better molds I've got in memory. This is so good, so much fun to mess around with. Quite an intricate transformation, but not a difficult transformation. It feels intuitive. It's lots of fun to move backwards and forwards. It's lots of fun to mess around with and pose in both modes, and it looks great in both modes. So it's an absolute recommend, even if you're not necessarily a Beast Wars fan, which I'm not really, but I do like a good toy regardless, and this is definitely a good toy. So even if you wait and see if you can pick her up on clearance, if you get the chance to get her for a lower price at some point, that would be an absolute bargain. So yeah, really good. Definite recommend from me. Thank you for watching as always, guys, and that's been my review of Generation Select's Antagony. I will see you again soon for another one. Take care, guys.